Hanoi has an exceptional motorcycle culture. Frankly, I haven't seen this anywhere.
This piece is called Vietnam Scooter Culture. It's a profile of the scooter lifestyle of the residents of Hanoi, Vietnam.
The running joke is to see who can get a picture with the most obscure thing on the back of a motorbike. Some of the most obscure things I've seen out here is 3 huge full-grown pigs that probably weigh 100 pounds each, one on each side of the motorbike and one on top. And the guy's driving, and the pigs are alive, so they keep shifting around, and the guy's just like all over the place trying to ride this bike with these pigs that are like in cages.
This style of storytelling that I use is something that I'm known for professionally, that I've done for almost from the very beginning of getting into television, in this sort of non-narrative storytelling, or nat sound storytelling.
Certainly if you go and watch it from one of the balconies and you see all of the cars and the people and the mopeds interacting, there is some kind of poetry to it. You can also almost kind of imagine some classical music being played over the top.
Generally speaking, when the type of work that I do is I want viewers to experience what I've experienced. I want to take you there, and I want you to become part of where I have been. And that's really something I work very hard at, trying to have the viewer experience.
The slower you walk, the more calm you are. It's almost a case of closing your eyes and heading across the road, and they go around you. It's quite unnerving though. It goes against all the natural instincts.
You know, one of my favorite scenes in this piece is we're crossing a very busy street, and there's this young woman who's texting, not paying attention at all to the traffic, and relying on the traffic to avoid her. And it sort of expresses what's going on in not just U.S. society, but the world society, how texting and cell phones and all of that have become such a big part of the world today. And yet scooters are sort of been around a long time, and they're not necessarily state-of-the-art, so there's this sort of merging of sort of the old and new.
Mostly everybody in Vietnam, they have the one scooter. It's cheap enough for people to buy it, and easier to take and go everywhere they want.
Of course, when you go to foreign countries, you look for people who speak English. There's a pretty sizable expatriate group of people who live in Vietnam, so obviously telling the story through their voice is one way of telling the story. But then of course you also want to tell the story using somebody who's a local. I found a guy who happened to be a collector.
We don't have much place for the car actually. Infrastructure is not as good as other places like in America, like your countries.
Not uncommon for me. I one day went and knocked on the guy's door, met the guy, he invited me in. To my good fortune, he spoke fairly good English, and we ended up spending an afternoon together, him showing me his collection.
Oh, this is the only classic Harley in Vietnam. I went to US, brought it here, I got a bike, got a Harley, and first one in Vietnam. When I got it, my life changed. I love the sound, I love the gas, I love the torque, and it's totally different with other things, other stuff.
It's Vietnam, baby.